Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Tasty Twist with Sammy B podcast here at Okemo Valley TV in the studios. I am your host and producer, Sammy Blanchette. I'm very excited to have this next special guest on here. He is, for lack of a better term, a major staple in this community of Ludlow and the Chester and Okemo Valley area for many, many decades now. He's the former owner of Homestyle Restaurant, started it out in 2014. He is now the current CEO and CFO, Chief Fun Officer at Main and Mountain since 2017. He is a father within the last couple of years. He's quite the traveling expert. And he's just a chief fun officer, in my opinion. Justin Hyjek. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, yeah.
What an intro. I think we can go home now.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's
right.
good.
Well, Dougie's got to get out of here anyways, too. Yeah, by the way, Dougie Marsh, hello. Welcome again.
Hello.
You got quite the goatee that you got going on here now, too, right?
I've never grown a beard before.
Never? Oh,
and
come on.
And it's scaring me because it's white. And I'm just amazed. I'm like, wow, how come it's not the same color as my hair? But being the age I am, my hair should probably be white.
Age will not be determined on this episode here. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyways, dude, welcome, man. Have you ever done a podcast before?
I have actually done one podcast in, I believe, 2015.
Whoa,
and
way
it was
back.
a traveling hostel podcast.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, explain a little bit about your and Eliza's experience over the years of traveling with hostels and how Homestyle Restaurant, which is now it's called, how it used to be the hostel going back in 2014, how you guys came to that.
Yeah, it's great because I still have people call it the hostel. We're going to the hostel.
I do. I'm not going to lie. I still
old habits. It's cool. So we have always kind of loved to travel around, and in 2013 and 14, we were backpacking South America for 10 or 11 months. And part of that backpacking adventure is you get to stay for free at hostels in exchange for work. And I use my bartending trade as a work resource.
And I'm trying to remember, you went to bartending school or just took some classes?
Yeah, I did attend bartending academy in Burlington, Vermont, which is a complete waste of money and time. But yes, School of Hard Knocks. Yeah. I grew up in the restaurant industry, started off as a dishwasher, then a host, then a server,
the casual
then a
working
cook,
way
then
up
a bartender. I've played all roles. So it served me well when I was traveling with Eliza. We were backpacking, and as I'm staying at hostels, we're doing front end office reception, checking people in, hosting events, bartending, doing all these things that, you know, I was learning, and we were writing the business plan at the time while we were traveling.
Dude, that's awesome. How young were you when you started in the restaurant industry?
I started in the restaurant industry washing dishes in high school.
Yeah.
But officially, like, in the restaurant industry, 21.
Yeah.
I think is when I
bring it up because there's like that legality in the States or like the country in general, like you can't collect like an actual paycheck, I guess, technically until what, 15 or 16 or
I forget. I haven't been that age in a long time. So I think I was legally of age to work when I was 14 when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then you have to be 18 to serve alcohol in the States. So when I was growing up, being a server was a harder barrier of entry. You couldn't kind of just go and get a serving job. You'd have to have experience somewhere else or come with high recommendations or know somebody. So
do you think it's hard, and we're going to jump questions around a little bit here, like typical with episodes, but when they say, hey, what's your experience background? Like say, for example, like you both have been in the hiring process, like obviously as business owners for 11 years now. When they say like, do you have like prior experience, this and that? It's like, well, no, I'm 14. Like, so is it just like, you got to start somewhere? Like someone's like, you got to start somewhere basically, right? Is what I'm saying.
You have to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
When I look, I've trained people that weren't bartenders before into a bartending at the caliber that we expect at Homestyle or Main and Mountain. So it's all about the right attitude and the right interpersonal skills that fit with the rest of the staff and the ownership and kind of the ethos or the culture of the establishment. If it lines up, we can teach you how to open a wine bottle. We can teach you how to multitask and close out split checks and things like that. What I can't teach you is the intangible people, interpersonal skills.
And motivation also too. That kind of comes from within also too, to be willing to go the extra mile to learn all those new skills that you're all willing to train them eventually, even if they don't have the prior experience, I would imagine, right?
I mean, I'm still learning I keep up with trends, and right now bartending is going through a metamorphosis from when I started bartending, and my education and ethos and lessons that I learned in my discipline is shifting into a newer content and newer generation, which is cool, but it makes it so I have to be more nimble and I can't be so rigid in my
That's probably a combination of technology, maybe the shift in the type of like beverages, like, you know, a lot of people are going towards like the NA market is definitely like taking off, whether that's beer or cocktails or mocktails as they call it. There's a lot of different trends now in the beverage industry, food and beverage industry.
Yeah, which is, I think it's nothing but a net positive. You know, we do custom mocktails. We have a great NA selection at Main and Mountain. And that's important because a lot of people like to go to the bar, not just for alcoholic drinks, but for the camaraderie, for the inter-people personalities that might come in, the connections.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just the sense of community. So it's cool that it's all encompassing now.
That's awesome, yeah. So when you guys opened up Homestyle Hostel in 2014, how many years / months did it take for you guys with that building that it's still currently in to get it up and running? Like, was it a difficult process at first? Like, I mean, you already had the business plan, like you said, on your travels in South America, but did it take you and Eliza a while to get things up and running, like fully?
Well, yeah, you know, I have somewhat of a business, quote unquote, background in the small measure that I attended college for 1 year and junior college for 2 years and learned a little bit about business management, but I didn't know how to set up domains, email addresses, what phone systems to use, what a sprinkler system was and why I needed it.
Probably fire codes, permits, licensing, and
permits.
Yeah, right.
All the things that the building is from 1832, so it's an older building. It was an art gallery, not a restaurant, so you have to lay it out.
That's right.
You learn so much renovation. You learn an immense amount of knowledge doing that.
Not to mention the unfortunate reality of dealing with the Black River right behind you, which that'll lead us to eventually the 2023 flood, I would imagine, and talking. Yeah. So, anyways, continue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You just learn a lot. You know, how to deal with banks. What all the mortgage rates look like, how that all works. There's just so many different layers of running your own business that a lot of folks, you know, don't necessarily want to get into because it's so many layers.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's fun, and I enjoy what I do.
Did you both find it very risky when you first started?
Yeah, had I had more of a business background, I'll never forget, I probably would have second guessed myself. I'll never forget when we were pitching the business plan to the bank for the initial loan to open the hostel, the chief loan officer for the commercial banking sector looked at me and he said, "How are you going to sell $35 beds and $13 cocktails? Who's your clientele? Like, who's that demographic?" They were really having trouble trying to understand, like,
this is like a local episode of Shark Tank, right?
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Well, you would figure somebody getting a $35 room would just bring a 6-pack of beer with him. He wouldn't be going
from the gas station right down the road.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't put those two things together.
Yeah, and I just looked at him. I said, you know, I'm the demographic. I'm the person. We're the generation that are going to favor experience and quality over a luxury or discounted anything. Like, we're going to value our experience and the quality of what we're getting as our sense of value. And I just Eliza and I understood that early and promoted that ethos. Yeah. And here we are, you know, it worked out.
As far as when it was a hostel, did you have a lot of visitors over the years when it was a hostel that were backpack travelers or that were specifically, I'm sure that was probably who you
all types of folks.
Yeah, not just ski resort visitors during the winter. You probably had
everybody.
Yeah.
Not too many hikers from the ADK trail, the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, it's a little far off.
It's a little far off.
It's a little far off
east.
for us.
Yeah.
But we did have people try to call us sometimes and be like, how far are you? Do you offer shuttles? And if we had the infrastructure, we probably would have been able to capture that. Right. A lot of independent travelers, a lot of families, huge family crowds year round. And the back of the doors at Homestyle were all covered in chalk.
Oh,
we
wow.
painted them with chalk paint.
Wow.
So everybody had their own markers when they stayed, and they would still write all their,
so cool.
It's like a guest book on the back of the door.
Yeah, they date it and like say, hey, thanks for the great time. That's awesome.
So as we were selling Homestyle just a couple weeks ago, I looked on the back of the doors, and they're all still there from 2015, 2018. So next time anybody goes to Homestyle, check the back of your door.
Yeah.
It'll be a little postcard.
In addition to that, I didn't know the chalk part of that in all the years that I visited and stuff, but I always loved that you guys had the old school printout photos that you like thumbtacked like out near the bathroom and like the front desk and everything. Yeah, it was really cool. That's awesome. So for anybody that is familiar with Justin and Eliza of Main and Mountain Bar and Motel, they are locally famously known and nationally now to some degree also too, of cocktails like the Good Old Boy, which that's it. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what goes into, just based on your experience in bartending school, how you guys settle on cocktail lists and food and menu options also as well too, between your general bar snacks at Main and Mountain, but also your original menus at Homestyle.
Yeah. Well, we'll go in the Wayback Machine, everybody. So in 2014, Homestyle opened as a hostel and a cocktail bar. I'm not a chef. I was a cook at a brewery, but I'm not a chef. So we opened a hostel and a cocktail bar. And then people kept coming in and wanting food or something more substantial. So we started hosting chef pop-ups.
Oh yeah.
And we actually, one of the chef pop-ups decided to lease the kitchen from us and run it as a restaurant.
Was that Alyssa?
It was Jade.
Oh, Jade.
Actually was his name.
Yeah. Shout out to both of them, by the way.
Yeah, Jade Huntley was our very first chef. And then after kind of doing pop-ups and having Jade there, Jade ended up moving away. The pop-ups we were kind of getting sick of because it's a ton of work to do, prep a pop-up and print the different menus and learn the foods.
Right.
Our dear friend Alyssa Prouty, who still is in the area but is no longer a career chef, decided to hop over from Downtown Grocery and become our head chef. And she really built the restaurant program. Yeah. And then Chef Christian Mayo, who now currently owns
the CEO,
he jumped on in 2017 or 20. I think it's 2017.
Has it been that long? Yeah.
A lot of years. Yeah. 8 years, awesome. I think. So him and Alyssa pretty much built the restaurant program with my end being the front of the house and the bar, and they were the back of the house team. Yeah. We're a small staff, so we're nimble. So we're always tasting different specials and understanding what the flavor profiles and how to cross-utilize ingredients and things.
Right.
So it was a real collaboration amongst us. You know, a lot of times people think it's a one single figurehead that kind of leads the charge. It's definitely not.
No, definitely not.
It's a team.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts.
Of people.
Yeah.
So we all kind of know our roles, our strengths, and our weaknesses, and then together we built that.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the cocktail menu, it's a collaborative thing again. You know, we meet as a team. Normally it would be Homestyle and Main and Mountain bartenders.
Yep.
We would have seasonal meetings, and we would hash out different ideas for the menu.
Yeah. I always found it very fascinating watching you guys make those cocktails from start to finish, especially on some of those drinks where you're lighting a flame on like an orange peel as like the top off, and just everything from the ice cubes, the spices, the seasonings. It's so attention to detail oriented. Like I'm really like blown away still all these years, like how you guys do it. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, it's artwork.
Yeah.
Like anything that's done well, it's an art form. Mm-hmm. You know, and you have to do it that way each and every time. You can't. I don't want to say any idiot can tip a bottle of Smirnoff up into some orange juice, but that's basically any idiot can tip a bottle of Smirnoff into some orange juice. Mm-hmm. You know, if the mix is off by this much or that much, it really doesn't matter, because the people aren't expecting that much to begin with.
Right.
However, the cocktails you make, people are expecting it to be the way it should taste.
Yeah, and I've always said life's kind of too short to drink crappy booze or eat crappy things.
Eat crappy food. Yeah,
and I don't mean to be crass by saying it like that, but they say almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and a lot of people think cocktails are kind of in the quotation marks next to it. You should definitely be standardized, precision. Each drink should be executed as the drink prior and as the drink next in line. If you don't do that, standardization suffers and deterioration happens.
Absolutely. And that could lead to a tricky but yet realistic conversation of you talk about, hey, like the loan officer guy you were just talking about, $13 cocktails. Well, in general, nowadays, that is a standard going rate for cocktails pretty much anywhere that you go, along with a $9, $10 draft beer, just based on market and stuff. But if you think of the art and the time that's put into your cocktails, that's labor and ingredients. Yeah, you got to charge accordingly. And so it's but I always like joking around with people also too, Justin. It's like, oh, okay, you're going to go on the internet or you're going to say in person, oh, that place is expensive. Oh, they can't go there. Meanwhile, you got a $9 a coffee espresso from Starbucks, like right in your hand. Like, so it's like picking and choosing.
It's all about what your comfort level is.
Yeah.
And, I've always identified Main and Mountain and Homestyle as a community neighborhood bar. It is a cocktail bar, and we do elevated cocktails, but we also sell $3 beers, and we also sell
High Life, right? You got
Montucky now, but we always try to meet the margins on anybody's budget because we want to be the most welcoming place possible.
Right. Actually, that's a good segue to a point I had. Reading the room and listening to your customers, has that been a challenge over the years, or do you find that to be kind of like second nature? Like, okay, they make good points there, or we'll give that some thought.
It's always been really easy for us. I'm not so set in my ways. Some of the best ideas I've ever had came from my dishwashers in terms of processes and efficiencies.
Right, yeah.
Some of my best ideas have come from our seasoned regulars who come and offer me advice because their brain thinks differently than mine. I'm not one that is ever too proud to turn down a good idea. I guess is what I'm getting.
Well, you mentioned that earlier in the episode. It's great to be open to other ideas. And like, even though you guys have the checkbooks, you're like, you know what? We're still humans with similar human thinking brains that you do. We don't have all the answers. That's why it's like a team effort to be able to. Yeah.
And I think too many times people get kind of set in their ways. And I was making mention of this earlier before we started filming. With the new generation of bartenders coming in, the old generation, my generation, is learning to either adapt or is going the opposite way and saying, I'm sticking to my rigid principles and how I've done things.
Right.
A recipe for my martini is different than it was in 2014. It's different than it was in 2018. It's an evolving, ever rotating based on the palates of the consumers, because the consumer palate's always changing.
Yeah, and the trends also too, like you mentioned as well too. Yeah. So again, memory lane. So how did you guys, just in general, like, you're a couple years into the hostel, and then the opportunity for that salmon colored painting building across the street, Main and Mountain, comes in the fold. So tell us a little bit about that.
I'll never forget it. We knew that building, I think it was called the All Seasons Motel.
Yes, it was.
That's the name of it. I was having a hard time thinking of it before. Yeah.
Still getting mail once a year for them. We knew that it was coming up for auction on a Wednesday in January, a random snowy Wednesday. So
icy and windy too, or just,
it was a gross day.
Yeah, gross.
It was rainy out. I think it was sleeting out at the day.
Oh, it's the best. The
we all piled in. I had to go to the bank and get a certified check, and I'd never done that before, and I thought that was a cool, huge deal for me. Hell yeah.
That's a big grown-up moment.
I'm gonna get that certified check. I'm gonna present it there, and I'm gonna auction like a true business person. And we go in, and there's about 50 people in the little lobby of the All Seasons. And I think Thomas Hyjek was the auctioneer. And they're kind of pros in the game. So they started off high. I think they started off at like $500,000 or something.
Yeah.
crickets. Nobody's saying anything. They gave us about an hour to walk through. The building was in horrendous condition. A lot of people were like, it's a tear down. So I don't want to get too far into it.
How old is that building?
So the hostel is 1832 and the motel is 1898. And the reason why it was 1898 is it actually burned down.
Yeah, most buildings around here burnt down.
Yeah,
I did not know that actually.
The old school used to be Hammond Hall,
right.
And it caught fire and burned down, and it jumped across the way to Main Mountain and burned it down.
Yeah. Wow.
In 1890 or 1891 it happened.
Before our time.
Yeah, a couple years before I was
little before our time. Yeah.
So I knew, like, down to the walls were kind of those hollow paneled walls that you see in manufactured homes. It wasn't even like a sheetrock. So we had kind of our work cut out for us. But yeah, the bidding kind of went all the way down to, I think it started at like $50,000 or $60,000 for the building.
Wow.
And then it started kind of incrementally jumping up.
Sure, yeah.
We had budgeted.
How fast do those guys talk, by the way? Okay, let me see 50. There's 75. Look at 100. I mean, they might even be 120.
When you're in it, it's going fast because you don't want to miss it. But it also slows down a lot too in between because you see the people on the phone making the calls.
Right. Or they've got the scared S-less look in their face, like, oh, can I get there?
And we went in with a set limit. We can't go any higher than this limit.
You got a certified check. That's your set limit right there.
They call that in baseball a salary.
Well,
you had a salary cap.
You can't get a mortgage on a building like that when it's sold that way.
Right.
You got to pay cash for it.
Here's the funny thing with this. We got the certified check. The certified check was 10 grand. We needed to bring 10 grand to be able to do the auction.
Oh, just to get started. Just
to go in and raise your paddle. It was 10 grand. So
they wanted proof of funds.
They wanted proof that you had at least a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Covering your rear ends. That makes sense.
We did not have. We budgeted out for $150,000. We were like, that's how much we can afford to buy this building for, because we knew we would have to put X amount of money into it.
At least $500,000.
We were thinking it was going to be a good amount of money, and that the building was not really worth any more than that to us.
You're buying the land basically, because putting up a new building would be about the same as refurbishing.
God almighty.
6 of one, half dozen of another. Yeah. Exactly.
So the bidding goes up, and the manager at the time of the All Seasons wanted it, and he approached us and he was like, hey, if you drop out, I'll let you use the pool with your hostel guests. And he wanted to wheel and deal. And we're like, nah, we're not really interested. We're going to do our own thing here.
Right.
So it's going up. We placed our final bid at 150. We're like, here it is, 150. And the gavel came down and we won it at our limit. Nice. And we're like, holy it's real.
That's right. That's awesome.
Eliza went outside and dry heaved. And was feeling ill. I was flushed because.
What did I do?
Yeah. She's like, what the heck did we do? I was flushed.
Another one?
Because at that moment when they banged the gavel, they're like $150,000. We don't have it. I'm like, I actually don't have that money. So I had 30 days to write a business plan.
You went to go get a lottery ticket at the gas station.
I was nervous because
doing scratches.
Yeah. They're like, dude, you have 30 days and you owe us 6 figures. So get working. Yeah. I was obviously bartending and working full time at Homestyle at the time. Yep. So I wrote a business plan as best I could, and I kind of took Homestyle's business plan and kind of like mirrored it. Mm-hmm. And I was I keep saying I because I'm the one here talking, but Eliza's my partner.
No, it's understood.
So
understood.
We wrote a business plan in 30 days, pitched to the bank, and got funding for this whole construction loan and the building in like 30 days. We were able to do it. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And then we started construction and rehab, and we opened, I think, we bought it in February because that was the 30-day period.
Right.
And then we actually ran it as Main and Mountain, but it was the All Seasons Motel because they had President's Week already booked up, and we didn't want to cancel people. Yeah. So we actually ran it as All Seasons for that first week.
So that was what, 2017 or 2018?
That was 2017.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say, you guys didn't you officially become Main and Mountain December of 2017?
Yeah, December 10th was the first day.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and
just in time for Christmas week.
Just in time.
First go around, yeah.
Yep. And what a whirlwind. It was crazy. We opened the rooms up. We sprinklered the building. We got it all up to date. We redid literally every single thing that you can redo in that building.
Yeah.
Even sucking the foundation up back onto itself. It was quite a experience there.
So at that point now, you had essentially 2 hostels / like places that you're like housing people, right? Initially at first. So when did you guys decide to shift gears from the lodging just being at Main and Mountain and no longer at Homestyle?
2020. We made the decision to go from Homestyle Hostel to Homestyle Hotel, which is why we changed our sign and everything.
Right.
In 2019. We're like, hey, the hostel has been fun, but I think that it's run its course and we want to start becoming more of a traditional inn and more of a traditional hotel.
Right. Okay.
So we actually took the liberties to install bathrooms, redesign our whole floor plan, and put bathrooms at each room.
I remember that. Yeah.
And we went through all the permitting and all the costs associated with it, and it was finally ready in like February of 2020. We're sweet, we're going to unveil it.
And then
March 15th, the world ended.
It shut down, yeah.
And we were like, cool, nobody's coming to a hotel. Awesome. Super fun. So
take us through those like couple of years leading up until the other massive event.
It's funny because you wouldn't have thought, but the golden years were until 2020. Like that was kind of, it seemed like business just ran a little differently prior to 2020.
Yeah. It's hard to think what life was like before 2020.
Yeah, it was a little bit more like freewheeling, a little less of just the noise around it.
Right, and a little bit less anger also, too. I'll like throw that in the fold, too.
It was just a different time.
The
world is decidedly a different place now. But it shut down. We're lucky because Vermont was kind of a redoubt, almost like a destination for people.
Yeah.
So we experienced...
kind of a safe place.
Yeah, we experienced... unbridled growth, really, for 3 years. 2020 was not a great year for us, obviously.
But 2021 and beyond, when things were starting to get back open and everything.
We opened the spigot, and it was pressurized. It was running. We were growing like weeds.
Right.
And it was a good feeling, but constantly trying to evolve and adapt and hire more staff, and just it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of moving pieces.
A lot on your to-do list.
And we got through it. We ended up having our first daughter, Elliot, in 2022, which is great. But that changed my perspective on my work-life balance, obviously.
I was actually going to mention that eventually.
And then the flood of 2023 didn't hit Main and Mountain.
It hit Homestyle.
But it hit Homestyle. Yeah. So that was a set of circumstances that were difficult to navigate. And then that brings us to 2025, when we're kind of getting back to stasis, I think.
Yeah. Do you think in a way I don't know if you had initially thought of, now with having your daughter in the fold and being a father, of starting to downsize a little bit in life, even at, you and I and Eliza are all relatively the same age. I just turned 36, but it's probably not a bad thing to think at some point in life that it's okay to downsize, like even as we're still relatively young, to downsize like a few things. But do you think that the flood was maybe the final nail on the coffin of like, okay, we should shift to just one restaurant now? Like this is kind of almost too much to deal with.
You know what's crazy is the flood was a lot, dealing with the insurance companies, navigating the state and local permit process, rebuilding, dredging out the mud. There was a lot of uncool things about it. But honestly, the shift between us wanting to run 2 hospitality businesses versus just one is the sacred time that I'm going to spend with my daughter. Yeah. I'm only planning on having one child. And if I was, I don't like to talk about how much work I do or how much work other people do, or it's irrelevant. What matters is the product and how it makes people feel.
Exactly.
But we were pulling hours. There was a few hours that we were pulling.
Yeah.
And it just, I didn't want to continue to, because when you open a business, you have to put in
all in
the work.
Could be all in.
Yeah, you have to, the buck stops at you and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So I wasn't looking to do that as much now that I had a daughter in my life. I was focused more on spending time with her.
Fair, yeah.
And also, we live in Vermont. It's not all about the almighty dollar. It's not all about work, work, work.
No,
There's a reason why we live here.
You got the trails and the mountains in your backyard.
If I wanted to grind out and make a ton of money and dedicate my life to my work, I would probably live in like a urban center
or New York City or county. Yeah,
I don't live there on purpose.
So because you both are born and raised Vermonters, right?
Yeah, I'm from Ludlow.
Yeah, from
Liza's
Ludlow.
from Chester.
Yeah, from Chester. That's right. Yeah.
So the real impetus to sell was our family and the work-life balance.
Yeah.
We felt that we put in, we sold in 2025. We opened in 2014.
Yeah.
We put in 11 years. This is going to be our 12th winter that we were going to be open. And that's good. We built it. We grinded. The name has been established. The brand is held. The culture is there. And it was time for us to make it.
You certainly have it in the right hands.
It went through its changes from what you first opened to what it became. So
Yeah.
it grew up and matured.
Yeah.
And okay, it's time for you to go out in the world now.
That's right.
We built it. Okay, now someone else will appreciate what we built, and we can get paid for that time that we've put into it.
That's right.
And it's in incredible hands, in Mayo's hands, man.
Exactly.
Incredible hands. So yeah, I'll never forget. It was either 2015 or 2016, I think, where you guys had me a couple of times out on the front patio of the hostel, the restaurant, just outside on the deck, unplugged. And then you also had me a couple of times in that back corner table area near the cocktail bar, just playing. So I, like all the gigs I've had over the years, I appreciate you having me play there and everything, which, and then obviously that has now led to Main and Mountain. You do the Sundays outside. You've got the Christmas takeover. Are you going to be doing the Christmas takeover again? Yeah.
So
Miracle on Main Street, it's called, right?
Every year we do Miracle on Main
That's right.
Street.
Yeah.
Christmas themed pop-up bar.
Yeah. For the whole month, right? Pretty much.
The entire month. Well, it's
month.
November 28th to January 1st this year.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, are you guys going to be doing music for that, like a couple of days here and there, or?
It's hard to tell. So
it's tough in that room.
Main
I know.
and Mountain is
Trying
tough.
to get a gig here while we're doing this.
Yeah. I have. You want to come back from Mexico? No, you're good, right?
You're going to Mexico?
Yeah, I go every year. I'm going for 3 months.
Heck yeah. I'm going to Mexico on the 29th of October.
I'll be in Mazatlan.
Hell.
I won't be there in October. I'm going down December 15th till, I don't know. I get it one way and then decide.
Good for
when I
you.
wanna
You know what?
come
Don't
back.
listen to him. If snow comes earlier than December 15th,
gone.
he's out of here.
Yeah.
I see a flake. I'm like, everything's already on the laptop. I see one flake. That's it.
Look at the time. Look at the time.
See you later.
Gone.
I like that.
Have a good time, y'all.
Hey, I'm curious how, besides technology changes and everything, how you and Eliza decided on with Main and Mountain, the bringing the cocktails to the rooms when people are staying up there.
Yeah, so we
Probably
don't
an app, right? It's probably
we
an
don't
app.
do that anymore, actually.
Okay.
And there's a couple reasons why we don't, but honestly, we didn't want to make it too confusing on the guest. So the whole reason and the rationale behind doing the invisible service, which is what we called it originally, is we're over at Homestyle working. We need the technology to work for us because I can't be in two places at once.
Yeah.
So we really, when Main and Mountain first opened, it was, I think, one of the, I don't want to speak out of turn, but it was one of the country's very first self-check-in automated processes like that.
Pat on the back. Do it.
Well, it wasn't even my idea. Other hotels, we travel a lot, so we got the idea traveling, and we're like, oh my God, this is it for us because we're next door working.
Right.
But I think we were one of the very few to get in on the kind of the ground level of that. Since COVID, obviously, that's
Was it well received?
Put your card in the door, it all goes to a computer, prints out all
See
your
you
stuff.
later.
It had to have been well received, right?
When you're the first at something, or the first in the area, I should really say, there's a learning curve there. Not everybody's going to be on board. Not everybody's going to understand it. Not everybody's going to appreciate it.
Yep. Some still want to just walk down to the bar to do what they got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're in hospitality, so I'm always try to be forward-facing and interpersonal with the guest. But I like to say, I'm not there if you don't want me, and I am there if you do want me. So I'm always kind of waiting in the wings.
I can tell you didn't shower today, Justin. I don't want you here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out.
But I think, as we progress and transform the society as a whole, we're more reliant upon electronics and upon wireless communications for things.
That's a fact.
That it's easier now, infinitely easier for people to check into the rooms and things. But to circle back to your original point, which was the invisible bartender thing, we don't do that anymore because we have a robust website, shop.mainandmountain.com, where you can go and you can pre-buy all of your cocktails, you can pre-buy merch, you can do all those things, and you just come down to the bar and pick it up. That's so awesome. It's nice and easy for the folks to do that, and it works out better for us internally as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You guys probably, or I don't know how it intertwines, but you guys aren't established also too with like Airbnb and Vacasa, right? As far as like people like doing general searches online if they're looking for, or
not at Main and Mountain.
No.
At Homestyle, when we were the hostel, we were on Airbnb and TripAdvisor and everything. Yeah. But when Main and Mountain kicked off, we only have 13 rooms. It's not that many rooms. And we really like self-promoting because it was kind of our belief that, the OTA, online travel agencies, are great and they kind of cast a wide net, but they also take a wide net of your percentage of your profit.
You don't want to be paying the VIG on
exactly
places.
So a lot of the time, Main and Mountain or the hostel will be full on Friday, Saturday nights.
Right.
And I would always say to the OTAs, well, I appreciate your services. Can you guarantee me a Wednesday night arrival?
Yeah.
They're like, well, no, of course not. I said, well, I can't. Don't help me then.
Yeah.
Any form of competition has its pros and cons, and we won't even get into the whole the STRs and the LTRs, with the town and everything. We don't need to go down that. But have you found that Airbnb, Vacasa have been more of a pro or a con for your business?
That seems to be a good question, and I have been asked that as a select board member. Because I am able to...
Shout out to the select board, by the way. He's a select board member as well, too.
A great board of folks that we have.
Trustees, as they call it, right?
No, the village trustees, which I also serve on, is a separate board.
Oh, okay.
Ludlow's broken into a village, center, and a town.
Okay.
Two different boards represented.
Okay, yeah. Back to that question.
So I would get asked all the time, well, you're a hospitality owner, you own a motel. Would you be in favor or against short-term rentals because they're direct competition? It's not a competition because Ludlow simply doesn't have enough hotel beds. So we need the short-term rentals. It's pretty blatant. We have tourism of up to 20,000 people on a weekend, and I think the hotel beds are in the hundreds. So it's not a competition. It's a cohesive thing.
I'm generally curious also too about also out of town a little bit. Happy Trails Motel.
Yeah.
What happened?
It is owned. Yeah. It is owned by the same people that owned the All Seasons Motel.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's a motel anymore, but I'm unsure what they want to do with that.
Yeah,
property.
Gotcha. Because there's a couple lack of rooms right there, obviously, and
yeah, Ludlow needs more hotels. I think Ludlow would do better with even maybe a major chain corporation hotel.
Yeah.
And I'm actually in favor of short-term rentals because it's good for our economy. I'm all about what's good for Ludlow, what's good for Okemo.
I agree.
What's going to lift all of us up, not infighting in the town. The town needs to become a beacon for the state of Vermont.
I agree.
And grab more tourist folks that would go to Killington normally or go to Mount Snow.
Right. I agree.
We need more of that in Ludlow.
I agree.
And people coming here and staying in an Airbnb are still going to spend money in Ludlow.
That's right.
They're going to shop at the stores. They're going to buy dinner, buy cocktails here in Ludlow.
That's right. And we want their tourism.
Yeah.
So this isn't. We can go into Selectboard and local town politics talk if that's something you decide to do. I'm okay with that. But this is definitely how do we make Ludlow better attraction for everybody involved?
How do we make it profitable?
Yeah. And
also that,
profitability comes up and being someone that is, not originally from here, but I've been coming up here for 35 years, including I moved up here 7 years ago now, full time. But I'm in the industry of tourism is my bread and butter. So it's good. We all play nice as best as we can, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And we're a tourism economy. I mean, it's decidedly a tourist economy.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yep. I agree.
Hey, if people don't come to the bar, you don't have people playing music, and you don't have people staying in places, you don't have people going to the bar. It all goes.
Yeah, it all goes, yeah.
And this is going to be kind of off topic, but a little in topic. I'm from here. I've lived here my whole life, save about a decade or so.
Colorado, right?
Colorado and New York and South America.
Yeah.
So Ludlow, like any and all mountain towns, and we're tied to the economy. Booms and busts happen, peaks and valleys happen. Yeah. We had a pretty barren downtown this past year. A lot of businesses didn't reopen from the flood. A lot went up for sale. A lot weren't selling and just sitting vacant. Mm-hmm. That's starting to change now. Places are being bought. Commercial real estate's changing hands again.
Love it.
There's a little bit more incentivization because people do understand the real value of doing business in this town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the old guard had to change.
Yep.
The old ownership and stuff, like any town or any business really, eventually they have to go, okay, we had our run, like you did with the hostel. They have to sell after that. They can't just sit there and then treat it as like a personal thing, like their hangout, or that just let the next generation take over and make it better and make it better. Mm-hmm. If you sit stagnant, it just becomes a wasteland.
I think to add on to that, what makes it challenging for this demographic of people we might be talking about, because I had experience of this with my family business and in Connecticut also as well too. If you don't have other things in life that interest you and that you like to do, then your place that you built as your baby for many, many years, whether it's 10 years or whether it's like 60 years, sometimes that's the only thing that you know how to do. And if you get rid of it, and it's changed,
but you
it's
go down
fair.
with the ship at that point.
Right.
You should sell the ship to somebody new to new cargo to do something.
Right. Yeah.
Well, also, Vermont, maybe Ludlow in particular, is different than most business sectors because the business owner works in the business. They're the day-to-day, they're the face of the operation.
Right.
Whereas a lot of times...
Not a corporate overlord from
not
some other place.
corporate, yeah.
Even I know businesses in Vermont and outside of Vermont that the owner is not a present daily figure. Mm-hmm. It is managed wholly by a general manager or a point person, mm-hmm. and the owners are not forward-facing.
We have a big one right in the hub of the mountains. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think in Ludlow, we're all owners that are in our business doing the day-to-day, focused on that.
Right.
And we're also, by and large, we own the property that the business is doing business in.
Right.
So that's why you have old mom and pop shops that have been around forever, is simply the real estate is owned and the business has been operational.
Yeah.
So, it's not like a downtown in a major city where the landowner is decidedly an entirely different company or corporation than the operating company.
Everything is leased. The landowner,
exactly.
Everything else is leased.
Yeah. But that adds on to the character of the community element.
Most certainly. I don't think I would want to trade that because we like what Ludlow is.
Right. Absolutely. And I know what you certainly like in Ludlow also too. That skate park.
I do like that skate park.
So you've been skateboarding and snowboarding your whole life, I would imagine?
Yeah, I started skiing when I was little, and then I transitioned.
I was about to ask if you skied. I never knew if you skied.
I still ski once a year.
Oh, nice.
Got to keep my legs.
Right. Different muscles, right? Yeah.
This way versus this way.
Yeah, planks versus board.
I still enjoy any mountain sports, really. But yeah, I grew up skiing and then made the switch when I was probably 10 to snowboarding.
Now you guys do events at Dorsey Park for the park there still every once in a while, right?
Times a year? We try to. Go Skateboarding Day is huge, June 21st.
Nice.
There's different skate camps and skateboard competitions that pop up throughout the year as well.
Now, are you able to get vendors there? I know that involves special permit licensing and everything, but you are able to.
Yeah, it's a municipal park, so hosting an event there is way easier. than you think.
Yeah.
Just because it's town land.
Probably, yeah. That's cool. Awesome. What was I going to say?
In fact, there was discussion about the farmers market being there before it was.
Oh, no kidding.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. I always thought it would be a good area for the farmers market, actually, would be at Jackson Gore, that big paleo field, like right in front. I would always think that'd be kind of a cool area for it. Do you remember the one year? Actually, I think this was the year right before you and Eliza became off and running as business owners, but they had that old 3-day Hops in the Hills beer fest in the paleo field.
Yep.
My CK3 band played there that one year, I remember. But yeah, what they were saying that the hardest part was getting the power all the way from the ice house with extension cords out there. But that was a cool concept to have it there and not just the hotel courtyard.
There's a lot of open space and, to quote a movie, room for activities up at Jackson Gore. And I think that, a better integration or a better understanding between Vail Corporation and the town of Ludlow would be beneficial for both parties.
I agree, because Divided Sky has done a great job up there with that big music fest and everything, and all right, so Erica liked this question.
The Mullers built their baby and then sold it.
Yes. You know what? They did a great job.
They did.
I appreciate everything they did.
36
like
years.
you said, they were forward facing and they were part of the community.
Yep.
And it's lacking that now, if you ask me. It's lacking that.
Diane still
that
visits
piece of
out
it.
this way every once in a while. She still comes out.
They're still
this way.
affiliated with Okemo
Yeah.
Mountain School.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And they built that beautiful exercise.
Yeah, the
barn
Mullers
there.
facility, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
It's cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Really
awesome.
appreciate that.
Okay, so Erica really liked this question when I was prepping last night. Anytime I come with like this extensive amount of notes, Dougie goes, "Oh, Erica helped you prepare, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, kind of, yeah."
Yeah, good.
Hence the smile. Love you, baby. Because video games they're cool now with phones especially, but they were way cooler back in the 90s. Did you ever play those Tony Hawk games?
Hell yeah.
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 I used to love playing those snowboarding games also too, whatever they were called.
Amped.
Liked
Amped. 1080 I wasn't ever good at, but I enjoyed it.
I think Tony Hawk was the one that got me into pizza bagel bites when I was younger, because I think he used to do commercials.
He hawked them on a commercial.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you still like video games?
Yeah. In any free time that I have, I'll usually spend it wisely. And some of the most wise use of my time is we do a Monday night Mario Kart / PGA Tour game night.
Nice. Where?
It rotates between Johnny's Kitchen owner John Hanlon's house, my house, and a few other folks. Mayo's in on it sometimes.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we have a core group of guys that kind of battle it out every Monday.
Sega or PlayStation? Or Nintendo?
On Mario Kart, it's
Sega's still a
Nintendo.
Sega is still a thing, right? I think.
I don't know if Sega is. PlayStation's what I have.
PlayStation 5. They're up to PlayStation 5 now. I thought it would have been more by now. But
probably.
Yeah.
I think.
30 years ago to the date, the first 3D video game ever came about. N64, Super Mario. It was the first 3D video game.
Was it 3DO?
No, I think just 3D. I think.
Yeah, I think it's Mario 3D.
Mario 3D. Yeah.
Long time ago.
Reaching for Bowser. The old Bowser levels. Yeah. Sorry, I hijacked the point you were about to get it. Yeah. Hijacked the point.
You.
Yeah. Darn it. Yeah. Anyways, that's cool. Speaking of Johnny's, how did the Oktoberfest turn out on your end this week?
Oh, it was great.
Did they all migrate respectfully from Johnny's Kitchen over to Maiden Mountain?
And I think I helped them migrate successfully and awesomely to Ado Brew as well.
Yeah, I heard that was wild too. I didn't make it to Ado Brew.
I didn't make it there either, just because I was working, but it was great. It was our closing night of the season. We were supposed to be open the 19th, which was Sunday, but we started selling out of things, and we knew that it wasn't going to make it.
Right.
So,
and you guys are now closed until sixth season.
Yeah, November 28th we reopened Miracle on Main Street.
Nice, awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, great Oktoberfest and great job. I told Mr. Hanlon, personally that it was a great job, but really awesome job from every sponsor and every event holder.
It was well done. Yeah. Was that? You guys were involved with last year's also too, right? Was that the same concept the way that it was?
No, it was different this year. Last year, I think it was just held at Johnny's Kitchen, and we were neighbors, so it was kind of runoff and whatever, but we weren't affiliated officially.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like having like all three businesses like tied together and everything.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Also in the spare time used wisely. Wisely. Wow. Okay. Funny. You guys like watching sports, and like, does your preference on like favorite music you like to listen to, does that change over the years?
Oh yeah. Sports I do not follow anymore.
No.
I used to.
Baseball, football. Who did you like to? Yeah.
I don't follow anything actually. I follow.
No, when you did though.
When I did, I would follow football. I would follow basketball.
Okay.
And I would follow hockey. I would almost follow all of them when I was bartending daily because it gives me something to talk about behind the bar.
Yeah.
It's always good.
They're Patriots or they're Eagles. We got a lot of Eagles fans up here.
A lot of Eagles fans. Some Giants fans.
Me?
Yeah. Some Pats fans.
Yeah.
Even a few Bills fans. You never know.
Cowboys fans are everywhere too. But that's.
But I'll still watch a game if I am over at a friend's house and they have it on. I enjoy the
chips and
sport
dips
of it.
Yeah.
I enjoy the hors d'oeuvres of it.
Yeah, the hors d'oeuvres. Pigs in a blanket,
Exactly.
mini tacos. Oh, yeah.
And then...
music. Yeah, what do you guys
tastes.
like listening to? Yeah, mostly.
I listen to everything. And I often tell people, because I joke around, I have the worst taste in music, but I also have some of the best taste. Like, I'll listen to...
Come on, man. You got Tedeschi Trucks Band on all the time at your place,
That's an Eliza favorite.
Yeah.
I enjoy all music. I grew up listening to punk rock, classic rock, alt rock, acid rock, predominantly rock, some pop stuff.
I always love that name, acid rock.
Yeah, I like acid.
What do we fully determine acid rock?
I always figured like a Jimi Hendrix, maybe Doors,
Janis
maybe
Joplin,
psychedelic.
all that era, yeah.
I love that stuff.
Your
What are your thoughts?
They were doing acid.
And they were rocking.
Yeah. That's some good ideas that came out then. Yeah.
I like new metal. I like death metal.
Okay.
I like Slayer a lot back in the day. Nowadays, I listen to a little bit more like indie
Baby
folk
Shark.
rock. I listen to a lot of Baby Shark.
Frozen.
A lot of Frozen. Yeah, and the older I get, in my 20s, I was listening to a lot of hip hop and a lot of dance music, electronic music. As I get older, I listen to. It depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's what a lot of it comes down to. Probably also same with, so I always ask musicians this because we travel a lot on the road for work and everything, but podcasts, I'm sure that all depends on the mood also too, like listening to different podcasts probably, right?
I'm in a podcast glut right now. So.
Podclast.
Yeah,
right?
podcast. I need help. I don't have any good shows.
Tasty Twist, Sammy B.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to this one.
All right, yeah. By the way, that is on platforms like Apple. You can listen to it via Apple. Okemo Valley TV's app. They have a YouTube channel. And you can also go to their website, okemavalley.tv or sammybmusic.com, where all of them get posted on there.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, so why don't you open up your phone and tell us some of your notes if you had to.
All right.
Is there anything? Yeah.
I didn't know where this conversation was going to go.
Entrepreneurship. Did we get much into that? I'm sure you had some ideas or things.
Entrepreneurship.
Is that the new 17, by the way, or the 16?
This is a 16.
I
like the titanium. Or no, this is a 15. I'm sorry.
15?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I'm riding out the battery, though. They're about to replace it for me.
Yeah. I have the 11 still, if you can believe.
Is your battery just working at all?
It's slow. I mean, my operating platform is slow as molasses now. So, yeah,
they're throttling you.
Yeah, Canva. All the PNGs I gotta make. When I send you those PNGs, like, hey, by the way, I'm at Main and Mountain this weekend. Here's the picture of me standing in the hallway in my condo. There's the Main and Mountain logo. That's saved on my camera roll.
That's right.
Sorry. Anyways, go ahead. Yeah.
The big thing I wanted to harken back to is. It's a sense of community. We're a small town, so it's really, really, really important that you support the community and that you understand your community needs. When we opened up Homestyle and the cocktail bar and the hostel, we fit in a piece of the pie that wasn't here before we opened, which was kind of an elevated bar experience with proper cocktails, old fashions and Manhattans and
with
martinis.
lodging as an option also too
with lodging as an option, which was an alternative to the traditional lodging in the area too. So we fit a gap that wasn't here. And the cool part about Main and Mountain and the cool part about us enveloped within this community is we all have our haunts, but they're all decidedly different. So it gives us, as a small community of only about 2,000 people, a lot of room for experiencing a multitude of different places and different environments and different drinks. And it's cool to not have, the same restaurant 4 different times or the same bar 5 different times. It gives us, access to differentiality, which I like.
This might have been a rotating rumor from years ago, and small towns certainly have their rumors that kick around and everything. But did you and Eliza ever thought about expanding into another Vermont town with this concept?
So in 2018,
do you see another town that could use something like a Main and Mountain or a home style restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you bring that up. In 2018, I went to Wellesley, Mass, Babson College for a micro MBA through Goldman Sachs. Awesome. So Goldman Sachs does a program called...
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was in 2018, and we had just opened Main and Mountain like a few months prior, like literally 4 or 5 months prior.
Yeah.
So I was focusing on home style, and the main thing that the main part of the program that I had to do was figure out a secondary business or a new business venture that I wanted to do. So I took Homestyle and I put it up at Killington. And we ran all the numbers and we did all the scenarios and I built the whole business plan. And instead of using kind of plug and play numbers on a business plan outline, I actually had to build it from scratch myself and understand all the numbers. And
kind of like when you originally were coming up with the plan for Hostel, right? Probably like you had to.
Even when I came up with the plan with the Hostel, I had no business real background. I couldn't read financial statements, so I used a business plan app that formatted it and plugged in my numbers for me. So I didn't. It's funny. When you open a business, or when I open a business, I didn't know the difference between a cash flow statement and a profit and loss and a balance sheet and how all these things work.
You're not an accountant.
I wasn't an accountant.
You're not alone, brother. A lot of people. You're not alone. Yeah.
The Goldman Sachs program, I learned more about that stuff. Even though I'd been in business for 4 or 5 years at that time, I was really learning a lot about expanding the business. And the thing that I came away with was, we didn't decide to do this at the time, but we had a bunch of people that wanted to franchise Homestyle. So we could have gotten plugged in with some VCs through that program that would have franchised the Homestyle Hostel brand, and you could have done one in Truckee, you could have done one in Whistler, you could have done one in Killington.
You could have become a waffle cabin, sort of.
Wasn't ready for that because Homestyle I was still bartending at the time. And I was like, I can't. We would have to write a Bible on standard operating procedures and processes and how to capture the culture and how to parlay all of our information. It was a lot.
To get all that information across to multiple different CEOs within the franchise, it was
a lot.
Yeah.
So they were kind of pushing us to maybe do that. Nobody was pushing, but it was like, hey, if this is an avenue you want to do, the numbers will justify it, and here's some people that you can call.
Because that's really the only way you could possibly grow, is to do that.
Yeah.
You have your one location. Not like you can open another one in Ludlow or even very close. So that's what they do with most restaurants that are successful. They're like, hey, you should franchise this thing. And then they grow huge and then they shrink back down.
That's right. And then they consolidate into a larger conglomerate,
A friend of mine.
But then it's just a corporate, like we were saying before, it becomes that corporate thing, and it's no longer a person with a face anymore.
See, corporations are really, really good at capitalizing and expanding ideas. They're really, really bad at generating ideas. So
they generate income. That's all they care about.
And they can scale, but it takes the young, hungry entrepreneur to develop the idea.
Create.
Friend of mine I went to elementary school with from kindergarten to just about 7th grade. Her father, I forget how many he has in Connecticut still, but for the longest time, he's had at least 5 to 10 Dunkin' Donuts sites in Connecticut that are under his wing that he operates and controls and everything.
And it can be highly lucrative.
Well,
yeah,
I bet you that guy's
I
doing
don't
some
know
hours.
how much he operates and controls them. He owns them.
Right.
He receives money from them.
Right.
But the Dunkin' Donuts really controls.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's their ingredients.
But his hand is in
all
the
of that
fold.
stuff.
My point is, his hand is in the fold of these locations.
Oh, I got you. His name is on the lease of the property and stuff. Don't get me wrong, Sammy, but the ingredients, what he's going to have on his menu, he has no choice in that matter. That is dictated by
He has no control.
Exactly. It's dictated by the higher-ups, man.
Exactly.
You know, you can make money doing that. But then again, you know, a firm belief of mine, and the reason why I call it a hostel and the reason why it's called a motel is under promise, over deliver. Never over deliver and under promise, because you're dead in the water at that point. And part of the thing is, do you want a franchise? What that's going to look like? Can you handle it? Do you want to build a second location? How much extra work is it? Who do you have in place? Who's on your team? Are they capable? There's so many different factors. How far away are you if the boiler goes down and you are the one that needs to fix it? So, you know,
is the plumber available to fix that in a timely manner?
So it's important, you know, to, I guess, understand your own ambitions and your own limitations and what you're comfortable with. And I think when I was younger, I can speak only for myself, I don't want to speak for Eliza or anybody else, I was more willing to jump into that fire without fully understanding it and being like, well, I'm just going to work through it. I'll just continue going, and I know if I work hard and reinvest in the business, it'll be all right.
Absolutely.
And the older I get, the more strategic I am, and the less I'm not just willing to jump out there and pull 100-hour weeks.
No, it's, especially now with Ellie in the fold.
Exactly.
Here's a kind of wrap some things up. A staffing personnel question. We might have already touched on this a little bit, but do you think this may or may not already happen? But do you see maybe a goal as a CEO of a business, especially in the restaurant industry, is whether some of your longtime devoted employees stay or go after X number of years, or it just didn't end up working out? Do you think how you and Eliza operate as owners and managers, would you hope that it encourages your fellow employees to maybe try doing this eventually in the future themselves, open up their own place, or just continue to progress up the job title chain and just learn more as possible? Do you ever get some people that are hey, you've encouraged me enough to want to go out and be my own business owner someday?
Yeah, that's the ultimate form of
compliment.
It's the ultimate form of a compliment. I was going to say flattery, but it's not even flattery. It's more of a pride thing. We've had multiple employees that have come, worked for us, and then went on and started their own business. Angie from Root and Toot Acres is a great example.
That's right. Yeah.
She went out, bought her own farm. It took off. She was serving, and then now she owns her own business.
Right.
And
where Bear Mountain used to be.
If I can serve as a bastion of somebody who came from Ludlow and started a business and can inspire other people to take that jump and do it, that's awesome. That's part of the gig, and that's why, thank God, I'm in a position that I can do that. And I always want to be a lead by example type of person. You always treat people right. You never try to do backhanded or behind the back things, especially in a small town. It's just not nice.
Right.
Or ethical to do.
No.
And I always try to promote people in the best way possible.
We even think it's in the rumor mill for some reason. You have a thought. All of a sudden, somebody's saying, "Hey, how did you know what I was thinking?"
And then it ends up on Okemo Valley Community, and then
and I've had, I'm one of those collaborative, not competitive individuals. I think we build great things as a collective. So if somebody can come and learn how to bartend from myself or the program that we have at either establishments, and then they go and they bartend somewhere else, or they open up their own bar, or they do something in that realm, I'm just glad that we were able to impart our knowledge or our teachings that then help propel them to the next level.
Because they're going to remember that forever, bottom line.
Which is cool. And I'm not, I don't ever look for hey, I helped you with that or blah, blah, blah. It's just cool to know just by the nature of them working in-house and how we do things, that knowledge has been imparted.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any last entrepreneurial advice you would want to share with the audience?
Yeah. If you're an entrepreneur, don't overeducate yourself in anything that you do. Jump in with limited knowledge because
Jump into the fire.
It's a whirlwind and you'll never ever know what's going to come your way.
Yeah.
So the less you know, the less you can overanalyze it.
Yeah. Last couple questions also too. What's the coolest trick you've ever landed on a skateboard?
That's a good question, Sammy.
The McTwist 95 McBurger with fries.
In the video game or in real life?
Yeah, right.
I'm talking right, yeah. That you survived and didn't have an injury, by the way. That's
I've had many injuries, but I am still walking upright.
seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up skating in Ludlow, and I think now I'm not learning new tricks. I'm just kind of old head skating. But back in the day,
you're in survival mode now.
That's
more than
right.
ever. Yeah.
I'm in don't get hurt
dude,
phase.
it hurts when you bang your knee or like your funny bone against something.
You don't recover like you used to.
No.
I would imagine back in the day, we used to have a giant Ludlow skate posse around here in high school, and we were hitting all sorts of big gaps. And you know that rock wall at Killarney Boot Pro?
Yeah.
Goes to the
Oh,
Access
geez.
Road?
You mean the one that like people drive over sometimes?
Yeah.
Accidentally?
I threw my body on a skateboard over that thing and did a couple cool tricks over that. So that would be my
Broken
lasting
ribs,
memory.
ankles, or no?
I've broken a couple ribs. I've broken a couple wrists. I've broken a thumb. Broken an ankle. And I think I have a big protrusion still on my hip.
Protrusion,
Never got looked at.
That sounds like a new name for a continent, by the way. If plate tectonics merge, like Peru, right? God, Kilauea still erupts like nonstop out in Hawaii every single day. I'd like to go see that someday. Yeah,
you should go to Hawaii. Go to Hawaii tomorrow.
Oh, and that was the other question I was going to bring. Thank you for the segue.
Yes,
Name one place in the world that you have not visited yet that you want to go to.
Oh God, there's so many. I'd like to go to Vietnam. I've never been to Vietnam, and that's a big one for me.
That's a good one.
I'd also like to go to Croatia, and I'd like to go to Prague, Czech Republic.
Have you ever been to China, the Great Wall of China?
I've never been to China. I've flown through an airport in China. I've been to Hong Kong, but that's kind of not really mainland China.
Right. I've heard Japan's winters are nice. Like
Japan's
for
cool.
Skiing and snowboarding.
Top 3 countries that I've been to is probably Japan, number 1, Spain, number 2, and Colombia, number 3.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Ireland would be on mine. Ireland and Italy.
Yeah, Italy's great too. I've been to Italy a few times.
Yeah. Buddy of mine just came back from Ireland with his wife and said the Guinness factory is 8 stories tall.
I've never been to Ireland. I've always wanted to go. Yeah. I've never been to London or I've been to Scotland, but I've never been to England or Ireland.
Name the band, because you just mentioned this. Well, I've never been to Spain.
Oh God.
Name the band.
I know what you're talking about.
It's a solid band, man. Kind of underrated, I think.
Oh, what is that lyric?
3 Dog Night.
3 Dog Night.
The band that does Shambhala. Oh,
yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
And I always love showing people War.
Yeah, man.
You know War, right, Dougie?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good band.
Yeah. Yes. Parting thoughts? Anybody you want to give a special shout out to?
Just everybody who watches the show. Thank you so much.
It's been a big success with you on.
And everybody keeps going, hey, I saw you on TV. I put my hand up. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
And it's funny when Sammy opened with the hey, you're gonna watch this, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I wanted to say, yeah. The first thing you're gonna say is, do I really sound like that?
I know.
I say that all the time still. Yeah.
It's like, really? And then you ask somebody, they'll be like, yeah, that's the way you sound. And you sit there going,
all right, so
I have no idea.
So Dougie, on that, when was the first time either of you actually paid attention to that? The first time I did it was probably 20-something years ago.
I'm an answering machine.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, an answering machine. That's right. Yeah.
I used to do it in high school. I used to cut my ears like this, this is what I sound like.
No, it's not the same. You still have the vibration from your voice. The vibration going up to your receptors obviously changes what we think.
That little thing in the back of your throat, right?
Yeah. It is strange when you first pick up on it, though. Like, wow, I do sound like that.
That's it.
And then, of course, the scene from Friends where you notice the camera expands you a little bit, whether you're skinny, overweight, whatever.
God.
And then Courtney Cox
Lord.
goes, hey, you know, in my defense, the camera always adds 10 pounds. And Matthew Perry goes, okay, so how many cameras are on you?
But it's where it adds to 10 pounds.
It's wearing it right. The good side or the bad side.
That's
yeah.
part of the reason, going back to the beard, why I started growing the beard, Sammy, because I looked on one of the episodes and I went, I've got a second chin.
Oh,
What the
time to
hell's
cover it up.
going on with this? I know how to fix that. Let me grow a little cover over it, then I won't see it.
That's hilarious.
What was that product, Gillette Chic Quattro, the power of 4? Remember that
Well,
one commercial?
Right.
It's
Take your little skin off in one fell
Oof,
swoop.
yeah, this way. Essentially. I love our nickname we give each other, Senor. Thank you.
Yeah, Senor.
Senor.
Yeah.
Senor, thank you for being here for this
Hey,
episode.
our
Do you want to give
pleasure.
a special shout out to anybody?
Special shout out to Christian Mayo and the CAJT crew at Homestyle Restaurant. Special shout out to all of our employees and dedicated people that visit us at Main and Mountain. And don't forget to visit us at vtmotel.com. Thank you.
And to Eliza and Ellie on behalf of Justin Hyjek
Yes,
as well,
indeed.
too. Everybody, this has been another fabulous episode of the Tasty Twist with Sammy B. Senor, Justin Hyjek, thank you.
Thank you.
God bless everybody. Thanks for supporting Okemo Valley TV. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the Tasty Twist with Sammy B. Be sure to follow it on okemovalley.tv, follow it on cable, or download their mobile app. You can also follow every episode on my website, sammybmusic.com. Have a great day.